Hey friends, it's Amy Dove, the Keto Queen. I hope you're having a great day. It's Monday. I'm home from vacation cooking our first homemade meal. Since I've returned home, it's been over a week, guys. I always love to travel and I love to eat out because I think it's just super special to be able to do that. But I love to cook and I love to be home at my house. So guys, I'm happy to be here. If you guys are new to my page or you haven't seen this recipe in a long time, because it's been a long time, you're in for a treat tonight. So as you're jumping on, let me know where you're watching from. I want to know where you're watching from and what you're doing for dinner tonight that's low carb or keto friendly. I'm making one of my all-time favorites. Like, I've been cooking this since 2016. I changed up a variation that a friend of mine shared with me from Pinterest a long time ago, Miss Amanda. And it is a keto hamburger helper. Yes, so when I say hamburger helper, there's no carbs, so there's no noodles. The only carb in here is our healthy green beans. Guys, I'm telling you, this is a delicious recipe. So if you love hamburger helper, in the comments, tell me I love hamburger helper. This one is a keto version, and it is fantastic. So I'm excited to share it with you. Go ahead and give me some hearts if this sounds good and share this video. Go ahead and share the video. There's a share button at the bottom. I'm going to go ahead and put this together. Guys, I've got my oven on 350 because we're going to mix up our keto recipe and then we're going to put it in the oven on 350 for about 25 minutes. So it's going to take a few minutes in the oven just to really get all good and mixed up with the flavors and have that cheese melt. Like, I love hamburger helper. When my kids grew up, unfortunately, I didn't realize how bad it was for me to be cooking it for them all the time. You know, because we really want to stay away from box processed products. And I mean, we went to town on some hamburger helper. And you could buy it for 99 cents. So we ate the heck out of some hamburger helper. So we're going to do the healthy version. Me and Ricky both really enjoy this recipe, and it's been so long. I didn't think about telling my mom, so I might have to call my mom and tell her to come over and get some too. So we have, right now, we cooked a pound of ground beef. Now, you can do more if you want to, but I'm only cooking for me and Ricky and Mom maybe. If there's any leftovers, it will be very little because we love this recipe so much. Ricky will eat this all up. I'm adding 3 ounces of softened cream cheese, but I just got home. It's not really soft. So we're going to keep this on a very low heat just to make sure it melts in there. And when this starts to melt, we're going to add our next ingredients. Guys, very few things go in this recipe, and it is super delicious. So to get this recipe, all you have to do is wait for the finished video. And if you'll just click on my name at the top, it takes you to my page, and you'll see the link for this recipe. Hey, Bridget. Hey, Barbara. How are you guys doing? Let me wash my hands real quick. I've got a mess in this kitchen. Need to get that cream cheese off my hands. So I've got a mess in the kitchen. I've been gone. I've been away. Hey, Kelly, how are you? My family loves this recipe. Yay. Hey, Debbie, how are you? So, guys, if this sounds good, go ahead and give me some hearts and make sure you share this video. There's a share button at the bottom corner there because I want to make sure that I show so many more people this year how easy it is to eat low carb or even keto at your house, making super fast, delicious meals that get you in and out of the kitchen in 30 minutes or less. So we're going to mix this up and stick it in the oven. Now, it's going to cook in the oven for about 25, 30 minutes. That does not mean that it takes you 45 minutes to cook this. You literally are putting it together, sticking it in the oven, walking away, going to get your steps in, doing some laundry, whatever the case may be, and then we'll come back to it and eat it. So we've got 1 pound of ground beef, and I just added 3 ounces of cream cheese. I'm just getting it hot so that cream cheese will start to melt. We're going to go ahead and add some seasonings. I've got some garlic powder. We're going to do a whole teaspoon of garlic powder. And then we're going to do a half teaspoon of onion powder, salt, and pepper. So one teaspoon of garlic powder, and then we're going to back it down to a half teaspoon of onion powder and salt and pepper. And then we got our next ingredient coming up in just 1 second here. I'm going to go ahead and start pouring it in, and that is beef broth. So I'm going to put a half a cup of beef broth in. Going to do a half a cup of heavy cream. Guys, so easy. And then what we're going to do is just mix up this seasoning, and we're going to let this simmer for a few minutes so it starts to thicken. We just want it to start to thicken. So I've got 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, a half teaspoon of onion powder. I'm going to do a half teaspoon of salt and a half teaspoon of pepper. Now, when we taste this later, you can always add more salt and pepper. I like a really good salt and pepper. I think salt and pepper makes every dish different. And everybody's different, so you don't have to use a full teaspoon of salt if you don't want to, but I usually actually do a little more. So this is Redmond's real salt. It's not a white table salt. It has a lot of flavor. It has all the minerals we actually are supposed to get every day. So it's a lot better than that white table salt. Let me see if I can open this thing. I'm out of pepper. I need to put it in my... there we go. I need to put pepper in my pepper shaker. I like some good pepper too. So a half teaspoon salt, half teaspoon of pepper, half teaspoon of onion powder, and then we got a full teaspoon of garlic powder, and we're just going to mix this up. Can y'all see that okay? Oh, Marie, it is so good. If you guys haven't tried this yet, you're going to love it. Like, I'm so excited to cook it for the first time in a long time. We used to cook it a lot. So, to remind you guys of what I've done, I've got 1 pound of ground beef. I've got 3 ounces of softened cream cheese. I did drain the grease out of that ground beef. I added 3 ounces of softened cream cheese, a half a cup of heavy cream, half cup of beef broth, and then those seasonings, garlic, onion, salt, pepper. And guys, this is pretty much it for a few minutes. We're gonna let this simmer for a few minutes just to get thick. Now we know that heavy cream and the cream cheese together will thicken pretty quickly. So just keep in mind, if you end up getting it too thick, then you can always add a splash of water, you can add a splash of broth, or you can add another splash of heavy cream just to thin it out a little bit. We don't want this super thick, but we do want to create the sauce. This is a hamburger helper. Guys, my favorite hamburger helper growing up was stroganoff. I loved beef stroganoff hamburger helper. My kids loved the cheesy mac and cheese and the stroganoff and just the regular, you know, the regular original. But we love hamburger helper. All right, guys. How are you, Irene? I see you there from Cambridge, Ontario, Canada. That's awesome. Hey, Shar. How are you? Or Shari. I think you say it Shari. I love that name. Hey, Sharon. How are you doing? Sharon's made this many times. Hey, Tina. This is one of our favorites. Man, it's been so long since we fixed it here at my house, Tina. And Tina now switches out the green beans for broccoli, and I bet that is delicious. All right, so now we're just going to let this simmer a few minutes, and then what we're going to do next is we're going to add our green beans. Now, there's 2 variations of this recipe. You can use fresh green beans if you would like, and if you do, I recommend steaming them just a little bit. You don't want to over steam them because we had to cook this in the oven, but you want to steam them first, and then you're going to carefully mix it into the casserole dish, or you can do like I'm doing tonight and use canned green beans. Guys, canned green beans are not unhealthy. There's just water. The ingredients, let me find them. Organic green beans, water, sea salt. So there's nothing unhealthy about canned green beans. Now, I personally love fresh vegetables, but tonight I really want to get out there and get my steps in. Like today was my first day back at work and I was tied to my desk all day. So I need to get out in the backyard and get some steps in. So I just thought if I did canned green beans tonight, it'll be easy, simple, and fast, and that's exactly what I'm doing. So we're just letting this simmer. And you'll see, let me give you a little example. It's still really, really watery. I want it to be a little thicker so that we're actually making a sauce. I don't want my pan to be full of water. I want my pan to be full of a delicious sauce. So we've got it seasoned up. We're fixing to add our green beans. And then, guys, what comes next is your cheese. I like to top it off with mozzarella and cheddar. You can do whatever you want. You don't even have to use green cheese if you don't want to, but what kind of hamburger helper have you ever seen that didn't have cheese? I mean, most of them have a cheese sauce, right? And it's packaged powder cheese. No, we're going to make a delicious hamburger helper that's got all these great ingredients, including some really good cheese. Now, I would always recommend that you grate your own cheese, but again, tonight is my first night home after a crazy, hectic work week trying to get back on track at work. So I'm doing it the cheap, easy way. Or not cheap. I'm going to do it the easy way, which is shredded cheese. So I'm not shredding it myself. I know. So I got my green beans in my casserole dish. I'm fixing to add the ground beef mixture. We're going to mix it up. I've got my oven on 350, and we're going to top it off with cheddar and mozzarella. Again, you can do whatever you want to with the cheese. And I am going to taste this before I top it off with the cheese to see if it needs more salt and pepper. So this is just for me and Ricky, but I'm still going to get a separate spoon. Watch out a little bit. It was pouring down rain just a second ago, and it's just now starting to get sunny again, so I got to get out in the backyard. Man, that's delicious. So I'm going to go over this one last time for you guys before I add it to my casserole dish. I am going to turn the heat up just a little bit because it is still just a little bit too watery for me. See it starting to thick up? See it starting to thicken? No, I didn't see that. I got some stuff in my background. Excuse me. Goodness. Sorry, guys. So if you get it too thick, you can just add a splash. Well, What in the world happened? Let me get some water. Man. I have no idea where that comes from. If you thicken this too much, because the longer it simmers, the thicker it gets, all you have to do is add a splash of water, splash of heavy cream, or even a splash of the chicken broth or beef broth again. But for the sauce, we have 1 pound of ground beef. We drained the grease. We added 3 ounces of softened cream cheese. As soon as that started to melt, we added a half cup of beef broth and a half cup of heavy cream, and then the seasonings, which is 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, half teaspoon of onion powder, half teaspoon of salt, and half teaspoon of pepper. That's it. And guys, this tastes absolutely fantastic already. We're fixing to pour it over our green beans. The hamburger helper pasta, if you want to call it, is the green beans. So we're going to pour this over the green beans. We're going to stir it up really well. We're going to top it off with cheddar and mozzarella. At my house, you can use whatever you want, and you can use as much as you want. I like cheese. I'm not afraid of cheese. I love cheese. You don't have to use cheese. Just because I do doesn't mean you have to, or just because I do doesn't mean you have to use as much as me, because I'm probably going to put about 3/4 cup of each on top of this. And then we're going to serve it up. We're going to put it in the oven on 350 for about 30 minutes, maybe even less, just long enough for the seasonings to really mix up with the green beans. The green beans get soft when they're hot, and then we're just going to serve it up, and it's going to be delicious, guys. I love this recipe. Ooh, Bridget adds minced garlic and diced onion. Yes, girl. Diced onion makes everything good. I have to add my cheese to the pan so Dennis doesn't see it. I love it. I love onions in anything, so adding onions is only going to make it taste even more delicious. All right, I'm just making sure this is starting to thicken up just a little more for me, and you really can play with this. If you're not used to making a thicker sauce, just play with it. You can always add that splash of cream back into it to thin it out. But I want to get it just a little more, just a little tiny. See how it's getting a little thicker? The longer I simmer, the thicker it gets. It's almost done. And then we're just going to pour it over to the green beans. Guys, if you're new to my page, I would love to know it. In the comments, just let me know that you're new here. I would love to know how many people are you guys attracting. So if you haven't already, please share this video. I like to ask everyone to share my videos if I've ever been a help to you or given you some really good recipes or just inspired you in any way. I want to make sure we're also sharing so that we can inspire and help other people. So make sure you share this video. And in the comments, let me know what you guys are doing for dinner tonight. I'd love to know what you're doing for dinner that's low carb or keto friendly. Yesterday was Mother's Day, and I'm telling you, this mama was beyond rested. I told Ricky, like Saturday, we came home Friday night from our vacation. Saturday, we had everyone here for Haley's birthday celebration. We had a big crab bowl, and they didn't leave until after midnight. And then yesterday was like Mama's Day. And I had all my family over on Saturday, so Mama's Day was Mama's Day, y'all. And I'm telling you, I got caught up on some Netflix shows. I was just so lazy. I got lots of rest, and we had a really good salads from our local pizza place for dinner, and it was great. All right, guys, this is looking awesome. So let me see if I can pull this over here so you guys can kind of see. I'm just going to top all this off, stir it in. Ooh, man, that looks good. Look at that. I actually could have thinned it out just a little bit more, if that's all right. I don't want to waste any of it, so I'm scraping it all out. And look, after you put this in the oven, you can start cleaning up your mess. So you've got dinner not only mixed and ready, but now you can clean your mess up while it's cooking, get your steps in, your laundry, or whatever else you want to do, and be productive the rest of the day. Oh, be productive. All right, so we're just going to stir in our meat mixture with the green beans, and then we're going to top it off with that awesome cheese. Let me turn that hot off. Now, like I said, you can use fresh green beans. If you want to steam them, I would like halfway steam them. Don't overcook, because when you stir it up like this, it's just going to crumble them. It's going to make them mush. If you're using canned green beans, all you're doing is mix it in. I like it both ways, and tonight I decided that I would just go can. All right, so we're just spreading this out. I already tasted the sauce, and it was fantastic. Don't need any more seasoning. So now we're just going to top it off with our cheese, and it's going to go straight in the oven. Guys, if you're new here, I hope you find lots of good recipes and inspiration. I love to inspire other people because I started this back in 2018. I'm still cooking some of the recipes because they're fantastic, but I have so many recipes. We never eat the same thing over and over unless it's something we choose to eat over and over, like those air fried pork chops. Those air fried pork chops are worth eating every night. Or something we really want. So, all right, now I'm going to add my cheese. I'm doing cheddar and mozzarella. Let me wash my hands because I just licked my finger. Watch out, my money. I love you, my money. I love you. What are you doing, girl? Get your toy and get out of here. Almost done. All right, so now we're just going to top it off with some mozzarella and cheddar. I'm using super fine. Now, it's better if you shred your own, no lie. If you shred your own cheese, it just tastes better. That's absolutely 100% accurate. But if you're like me, sometimes you just need the easy way out. And that's okay too. I'm not mad at myself. But if I really wanted to, I would shred my own block of cheese and the taste is much better. I'm using about 3/4 cup of both of these cheeses. I'm doing mozzarella and cheddar. You can do whatever your heart desires. You can use Monterey Jack, you can use Colby Jack, you can just use cheddar, you can just use mozzarella. I like the mixture of both in my hamburger helper. And guys, if you haven't tried this yet, I know you're gonna love it. I have full confidence that you're absolutely gonna love this dish. If you've had it before, in the comments say, I've had it and loved it. And if you haven't, guys, make sure you share this video so you can come back to it easy. And give me some hearts if you love hamburger helper. All right, and this looks good. I think I'm about to put this in the oven and I'm gonna get off here. And if you guys have questions for me, just put them in the comments. I always share finished products when it comes out of the oven. So 25 minutes on 350. This is going to be delicious, guys. All right, ooh, salad would be good with that, Elizabeth. There's nothing wrong with trying salad with this. I think it'd be good. Do you ever cook steak? Ooh, yes, in my air fryer, I do. I do steak in my air fryer. I marinate it just like I would if I was putting it on the grill and put it in the air fryer. And I like mine medium rare. So I cook mine pretty fast, but you definitely can cook it the way you like. Today was my birthday. Hey, Marge, happy birthday. Jennifer is on here. Love this dish. One of her favorites. Yay. Hey, Connie, how are you? I'm not going to have a side dish because this has my meat and my vegetables. So we're going to eat it just as it is. You can always add a side dish if you want to, but my veggies are in here with my meat. So it's just a one dish, not a one dish wonder because I got lots of good dishes. So it's just a one dish dinner. Oh, all right. I'm setting my alarm and I'm gonna start cleaning up. If you guys need me for anything, just make sure you send me a message. And Sharon's birthday is on Mother's Day. Sharon had a birthday and Mother's Day. That's awesome. All right, guys, y'all have a great night. I'm gonna jump off here and get some steps after I clean. I'm here to help you, so if you have any questions, let me know. If you're new to my page, I hope you find a lot of inspiration and great recipes. And I'm here to help you guys. So if you're not new, make sure you share my videos. We want to make sure that we reach so many new people this year in 2025. I want to make sure that I'm helping a minimum of 600 people every single month feel amazing and transition to a better lifestyle where they feel good, they have lots of energy. The only way I can do that is with your help. So share these videos. If I've ever helped you, that means I can help your friends. So always share. All right, guys, gotta go. Y'all have a great night. Bye.